Good afternoon, everyone. Are you familiar with the idiom, expect the unexpected? You know, it's really an invitation for us to step out of our comfort zones and be ready for whatever God may put in our paths. And sometimes it seems like my whole life has been a story of the unexpected. Like I never expected to be married. I never expected to be a father. I shouldn't expect to be a deacon. But God had all of these things in store for me, and they've all been tremendous blessings in my life. And this gospel passage we just heard is also a story of the unexpected. Because Elizabeth and Zechariah did not expect to be parents in their old age. In fact, Zechariah was even struck mute because he questioned God about it. And yet God worked through him, worked through them, and they listened to the voice of God and responded to his call for them. And I think the best way to prepare to expect the unexpected is through prayer. And rather than simply talking to God, prayer is really about listening for God, discerning his will for us, and being open to whatever surprises he may have in store for us. But honestly, sometimes my prayer becomes about my will, not God's will. I want God to listen to me. And of course, there's nothing wrong with intercessory prayer. But a good relationship with God requires listening. But I've never heard God's voice audibly. But I do listen for his voice in sacred scripture, in the voices of faithful people whom I trust, in that sense of peace, and mostly in whether I am drawn toward Christ. Because that's the key. God's will always points us to Jesus. And John the Baptist is a powerful witness to this. Because from the very beginning, his mission was unmistakable to prepare the way of the Lord. And everything in John's life pointed to Jesus. And you and I, by virtue of our baptism, have that same mission. So if our words and actions draw us closer to Christ and help us to lead others to him, then they're firmly rooted in God's will. But if they diminish Christ or compromise our faith, then they're not, clearly not. And so today, as we gather to celebrate the birth of St. John the Baptist, may the true presence of Christ in this Holy Eucharist that we are about to receive strengthen us and give us courage that we might say yes to everything in our lives that affirms Christ and turn away from whatever may diminish him.